Hi everyone, welcome to another short video on level of care for our admitted patients across the Central Valley Network. If you're just joining us, these videos are designed to educate you on the highest yield admission diagnoses which are frequently misassigned in level of care. Our goal is to make sure that we get the level of care right for our patients, for our wellness at work, and for the culture among our admitting colleagues. Let's get started. November is CHF Month. That's right, it's that time of year again where sweaters and jackets are dusted off. The air is filled with the smell of baked goods, hunted game, and generally everything that's considered to be bad for our health, which is why it's my favorite time of the year. Overindulgence being the general enemy of CHF results in a higher volume of these admissions around this period of time. Here are our new and improved badge buddies. You'll notice that there's a lot of information in the heart failure section, so let's take a moment to zoom in. So here you have the observation criteria and the inpatient criteria. It looks like a lot, and to be honest with you, typing this out as I have from the badge buddies is still a little much to absorb. So I went ahead and simplified it even further. Off we go. Alright, so observation is really simple. Let's start at the top. You have a patient who comes in with shortness of breath and you suspect it's a CHF exacerbation for any number of reasons. You can either document that they have failed outpatient therapy, maybe they're non-compliant with their Lasix, maybe they do take the Lasix but they're still worsening, or you can give them some Lasix up front and recheck them in 2 hours, finding that they are still short of breath. After you do one of those things, you have to document your other CHF findings. That can be edema, it can be that you're still hearing crackles or ralls, or you can comment that the chest x-ray looks something like this. As long as you document some finding of CHF after the first step, then that patient will meet admission criteria for observation. Inpatient is a little more complex, but bear with me on this because it's more straightforward than you'd think. You're either making a new diagnosis of CHF or you're admitting an acute on chronic CHF exacerbation. If you're calling it a new onset CHF, you only need to document paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea or orthopnea. Once you do that, the patient meets criteria for inpatient admission. If this is known CHF, which is much more common, then you need the regular CHF stuff that we already talked about, edema, auscultatory findings, or a crummy chest x-ray, and you need hypoxia. I've included the other measure here, which notes inadequate diuresis after diuretics, but here's the kicker. For inpatient, you have to accurately measure exact urine output, and it has to be over a specific volume, and we don't do this in the ED because it requires a Foley catheter and close monitoring. So this is not something we're going to be using. So my friends, as you can see, you either have new CHF with a couple of low-level subjective complaints, or you have classic CHF with true hypoxia. It also goes without saying that a patient on BiPAP, high flow, or is intubated is an inpatient stay. A general rule for all of these diagnoses is that if a patient is admitted to the ICU, they are inpatient as well. So remember, November is CHF month. We want to get the appropriate level of care placed every single time for every single CHF admission. Do it for your patients. Do it for improved hospital throughput, which, by extension, will improve wellness at work, and do it for the culture between our other Vituity partners who are participating in the admission process with you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the department.